Hello, this is Slow Adder coming to you from Slow Adder Acres. This is the 10,000 mile review. I've done over 10,000 miles in the saddle, about 11,000 on this 2023 Diavel V4. And I love it. I take it to work every day. It's about a 100-mile round trip. About the first 5 miles is back road twisty since I live up in the Sierra Foothill Mountains, and then I hit the Interstate 80 on the on-ramp and usually merge onto the 85 to 95 mile per hour traffic coming down the hill. So it comes pretty quickly. So you got to get on the accelerator pretty quick, and this thing handles it. And what I do is I usually cruise at 7,000 RPM and I shift at about 8,000 RPM. That seems to work pretty good. And I cruise on the freeway usually between 80 miles an hour and usually 90 to 100. Usually sometimes passing people at like 110, 120. But that's just for safety reasons because I get tailgaters. So when someone's tailgating me, I try to move up through the traffic and settle into a nice friendlier group of commuters. So I wouldn't recommend driving in California unless you're comfortable with a maximum speed of 120. And that's just for overtake and a tailgater evasion reasons. Typically, I do just get on the freeway, get in the left fast lane, and then just cruise the speed of traffic, which I said is usually be 85 and 90 miles per hour typically. And that's for about, and that part of it's about a 40-mile trip at that speed. And this bike, smooth as butter. And I do usually do that in 5th gear. So I always have, and that way I'm between like 7 and 9,000 RPMs. I always have some throttle. And what's nice is, you know, you can be going 90 miles an hour and you can start lifting the tire off the front end, off the ground and get going. So I love it. Reliability has been excellent. I have not gotten stranded anywhere. Like I said, I have almost 11,000 miles, even though this is the 10,000 mile review. Have not gotten stranded. It's been reliable. I take this thing to Lake Tahoe, back and forth, San Francisco, back and forth, Reno, Nevada. I mean, I'm thinking my next challenge will be one of these iron butt burner 1,000 miles or 1,500 mile trips you do in 24 hours or 36 hours. I think this bike will be easy. This seat here is comfortable. Usually I sit up here, or you can sit back and forth. And so I've kind of worked my way up to it. It's really nice. I mean, and as far as the wind is not bad. When you get in on the freeway, I mean, typically I'm sitting like this in a pretty neutral position, like when I'm cruising 80, 85. So I'm just here. I got my RE Corsair X helmet, which is highly aerodynamic. So there's very little force on your head and there's not too much force on your body from the wind coming in this way. So I usually ride like this. And then when I got to pass, I'm getting over 100, I lean into it like that. So it's it's nothing too crazy. So, and then you just kind of sit back up. And then if your butt gets a little sore after about 100 miles on a long trip, I go here or I go here, back and forth. So it's not too bad. So I don't have any problems with it. I like to wear the full boots so it's easy to control. And the quick shifter is my favorite part. Like I always say, it's very nice. So this thing cruises nice on the freeway. So I mean, on the trips I do, when I do like these 300-mile day trips just around the local area, these giant loops I do through the Sierra foothills or freeways. What I do is about every 100, 120 miles, I just get off, put gas in it. I get about 26 miles per gallon the way I drive. Depends, because I'm always I'm not speed burning, but I'm going to traffic, and if I got to pass someone, I'll pass them. So I'm getting pretty good at freeways now. I can go around the corners at 80 or 90 on the freeway bends, so I've gotten good at that. This bike's really easy to do that. You just kind of lean into it. You don't I mean, I never put my knee down. I'm more of one of those riders where when I turn, it's like looking, if I'm going right, I just shift my weight a little bit, and it's mainly in my hips and my back. And just by shifting your body, that's quite a bit of leverage. From a physics point of view, it really pushes the bike over, so we're not really MotoGPing out there, so you don't really have to lean off your bike at all. So it's more of a little bit on the tighter roads, a little bit of a move your butt over a few inches to the right or to the left, depending on which road, and then just, you know, if you're going right, push into it right, and if you're going left, just push left. That's all you got to remember. And this thing, it's very stable. And then just a little bit of throttle management through the corners. I mean, I'm not always worried about, on this bike, I don't think inside, inside, or outside. You don't, I mean, we're driving on the road, so I mean, I try to always be in control while I'm going pretty much in the middle of the lane. So I'm not trying to like maximize the speed, because I can go through the twisty. Maybe it's just the bike. I can go through a twisty, says 15. I can go through it at 40. So it's this bike makes a difference. So I don't think that's why I bought it, because I don't have to drive it to the 100% level. I can drive it at 50% and still be way faster and way safer than anything on the road. And I also love these Brembo dual 330 front brakes. They're awesome. I don't really even use the rear brake at all. Usually just when I'm at a stoplight or something, or I'm on a hill or downhill at a stop sign or stop light. I just rely on these front brakes, and when they get inspected at the 10,000 mile inspection, they don't need to be replaced. So, I mean, I'm not wearing them out, so that works really good. So let's go over some of the cost of ownership. So when I bought the motorcycle, so my impression's a 10 over 10. It's reliable. It's fun to ride. It's a daily driver. It's awesome. So we'll whip out the paperwork here. So I got this at A&S Motorsports in Rockland, California. So the manufacturer suggested retail price was $26,695. There was a $800 freight charge, a $500 markup, which is reasonable. I ordered this, I think I ordered it in October of 2022, because there were none, really, I don't think there were very few, there were none in the United States yet or in California. So I think I got the first one in California. This shipped in about like in the February time frame, so that's when I got it. So the total price on the sticker when it came in, it was $27,984. That's what the freight charge and the dealer markup. And then the total outdoor price, tax, license, warranty. I paid for the extended factory warranty. So I got this bike comes with a Ducati unlimited 2-year warranty. I upgraded another 5 years unlimited. So I have 7 years unlimited miles warranty on this. So if it rusts, dust, or bust, they're going to fix it. So as long as I don't wipe it out, that's good. So the check I wrote, this total sales check here, because I believe, yeah, it was, so the 5-year extended warranty was $2,000, which I think is money well spent. So for $2,000, I mean, for instance, the 10,000 mile maintenance was $500. So, and that's just for oil and air filter. I mean, more than that, they check everything. I'll go over that next, what they check, but I think it's well worth $500. So, I mean, for $2,000 for 5 years, that's 5 additional years. That's 7 total years. That's a good deal. So if one thing breaks on it, that's going to pay for itself. But so far, it seems pretty reliable. I mean, the build quality is good. The fit and finish is excellent. So everything on here is a 10. So So the total sales check out the door, I got a cashier's check, $30,349.50. That's $30,000 about out the door. That's tax, license, registration, $2,000 extended warranty, fees, all that. So it's essentially about $30,000, and then and change. So that's what that was. So the cost of ownership after that, basically I get about 26 miles per gallon. So just multiply that by $5 a gallon times 11,000 miles. You guys can figure that out. So whatever that is. So the first service is at 600 kilometers, or that's 561 miles. So the first service, where they check, they check all the bearings, the chain, the gears, the sprockets, they change the oil, they check the tires, they check the wheels, they check a lot of the torque on all the bolts for safety. They check the brakes, they check the hoses, they check the coolant, they check. Yeah, there's about a 50-point checklist. I could go through that at another time if people want to. I have it here. There's a big, long, multi-page checklist. So that was about $500. And then I just, so what they do there is they change the oil. So at the 10,000, at the 9,000, it just happens I did mine at 10. It's another 500. So I paid $500 for the initial oil change and maintenance and safety check. And then now at the 10,000 mile, it's another 500. So basically I paid $30,000 for the motorcycle out the door with the warranty. And then I've had 2 services, which are basically oil changes and chain retention. It got a little loose, which you would expect. So that was 500 and 500. So I spent $30,000 on a bike and then another $1,000 in maintenance. And I got new tires at 6,000 mile. I have a new set of tires in here, and that couldn't find the receipt, but just from memory, I believe that was it wasn't that bad. So it was they charged me the price of the tire plus $100 per tire to remove it, mount, balance, and recycle. That's a good deal. So it's $100 for the front labor and $100 for the back and $100 for the front, plus the tire cost. And I think the back tire was $300 and the front one was like $200. But it was whatever the cheapest price you could find, like Revzilla. So it was, and they price matched it. So it was like, I think the whole thing was like $600. It was well worth it. I mean, well worth it. So I would just have the dealership do all the work. It's a brand new bike, so you might as well do that. I mean, if it was a used bike, not under warranty, I would do it myself and all that sort of stuff. But since it's brand new and it's under warranty, you want to have them do it because it was only $100. Basically, each tire is $100. Labor plus the cost of the tire, which I think is a good deal. And then they do all the retention and torque the bolts and do all the stuff. Because I ride this bike pretty fast. Every day I'm at least going 110, 120 for a little bit. So I do rely on this for safety. So they do the full safety check as well. With like I said, the bearings, all the nuts and bolts are torqued, the shifts, the quick shifters. So it's good to take it in because you're not just getting the tires changed and the oils changed and stuff. They're doing a complete inspection and testing of all the switches, levers, the steering, everything. So just from a safety perspective, it's worth it. If you're going to ride one of these bikes fast, it's worth to know you're covered. So this is the extended warranty. It's called the Ducati. It's a funny name, Ducati Every Red. So this is I recommend you get the factory warranty because that can, if I move somewhere, I can I can go to any dealership and get the warranty work. So I highly recommend it. So on this particular bike, I've had all the warranty work done at the factory. So, so one thing I get a lot of questions, I'll answer now. I did so my day job is I'm a nuclear physicist. I got a PhD in nuclear physics from UCLA. Go Bruins. That's why I got the UCLA stickers here. So anyways, so what I did is I calculated the aerodynamic force as a function of miles per hour. So I calculated the with the winds coming this way, and it's pretty close to what I experienced. So if you take, I took the square area of my body, and that's a flat plate. So I calculated the force of this, and I also calculated the force of with your head in the helmet. Two separate forces. So the force from the wind pushing your head back this way, separate. So that's separate from this force, and then I can add the two together and get the total force. Because I know you know what the drag coefficient of the helmet head and then of the body. And so I calculated. It's a pretty simple formula. You just have to know the drag coefficient of a flat plate, which is your chest, and then you have to know the coefficient of drag for basically a sphere or a helmet, and then you measure the cross-sectional area. So I did that. So when you're on any motorcycle, this could work for any bikes. I have the maybe I'll do another. I have all the data here. So so if you're going 50 miles per hour on a motorcycle with no fairing, you're getting the full wind. You're going to get 6 pounds of force on your chest, and you're going to get 2 pounds of force on your head. So that's not too bad, right? That's why when you go 50, it sounds fine. So when you get up to 80 or 90 miles, about 90 miles an hour, so it goes from 6 pounds, it goes up to 20. So now you got 20 pounds. So now you're on the freeway going 90, you got 20 pounds on your chest, and you got almost 7 pounds pushing your head back. So even that, it's not too bad because you can kind of lean forward, like resting your head on a pillow, and it doesn't feel too bad because that 7 pounds can be counteracted by a little lean forward. So when I'm going 80 or 90, it doesn't feel too bad. So here's where you start noticing at 100, 110. So at 100, it's 25 pounds on your chest, 8 pounds on your head. And so you really notice this. So I do notice this. So at 120, it's 35 pounds of pressure pushing you off the motorcycle. So it's like somebody's pushing you off on your chest. And 12 pounds, you start to feel the helmet a little bit. Yeah, you do. So that's why you need a really aerodynamic helmet. This helmet made a big difference for I had a Klim helmet, but it's aerodynamic and it's got this foil in the back. This reduces the low pressure suction. It lets the air come off instead of developing a big bubble. When there's a bubble back here, that suction is pulling your head back. You don't want that. And there's also pressure on the front. So this is a Corsair X. Aero Corsair X, you could really tell the difference from a normal helmet. It's probably a difference of like from 10 pounds to 15 pounds. You notice it. Well, so just for giggles, if you're going 200 miles an hour, which I would never go, it's 100 pounds of force. So there's 100 pounds pushing you off that way. And there's 35 pounds. That's quite a bit. That's almost like if people lift weights, that's one of those 35 plump. It's a lot of weight. So long story short is I was thinking of maybe getting a windshield, but I don't know. That will reduce it a little bit, but that just that will reduce the cross section on here. So if I had the windshield, that's going to get about half. That won't, I'll still get the same force on my head because the wind, when I sit on it, my head's about here. That'll just get rid of half of the chest force. So if I'm going 100, instead of 25 pounds, I'll have 12 pounds. So that'll feel like I'm going only 70, which is fine. So I think that'll help quite a bit. So I might, Ducati sells the little windshield. I might get that. So anyways, I don't have any problem with the wind because, I don't know, it doesn't seem that bad to me. And I also wear leather jackets, so the wind kind of slips off. If you had flappy clothes, it's going to be a problem. Okay, so I give this a 10 over 10 for daily driver, for weekend trips. I mean, I could just ride this thing 24/7. I love it. Reliability's good. Never been stuck or stranded anywhere. And also, I don't know, that's it. I love it. So any questions, put them in the comments. Slow Rider out.